A mostly cloudy good morning to some of you, a little bit of sunshine for others. Hey, I hope your day's going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center on the day before Thanksgiving, along with me, Jonathan Dent. John, getting everything ready for tomorrow?
Yep, we're putting the snow shovels away.
There we go. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready for, all the fixings, all the turkeys and everything else. And they keep telling us that the Christmas, or I should say the holiday, Thanksgiving holiday dinner is supposed to be a little more economical than what it was last year.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. I was taking a look at everything and
I don't think it's saying much.
No, especially when you look at last year, if you, and the year before that, things were a little bit steep. So hopefully we can continue to get it down. Needless to say, I don't think agriculture's got a lot to do with this. It's got a lot to do with many other things, like the weather. A lot of other things causing our weather to do what it's doing right now. You alluded to it. No snow in the forecast and a little bit warmer temperatures. Not much for the extent of the Thanksgiving holiday, but at least tomorrow shouldn't be all that bad. And right now, we're heading in the right direction. What are we looking at?
We've hit the 40-degree mark. Well, not yet. Out at the airport, 39 degrees, but downtown Bay City is looking at 40 degrees under cloudy skies. Downtown Midland's at 40 degrees under cloudy skies. And here at Radio Center, we're at 40 degrees under cloudy skies. Slight wind out of the west, 7 miles per hour, and that's giving us a wind chill of 34.
It was actually a little bit windier earlier today,
Yeah.
Overnight last night. Still got some wind chimes out if you do in the backyard. They were rattling away pretty good. Looks as though the winds are going to begin to die down here as we go through the afternoon and actually become a little bit more southwesterly as we move into the nighttime hours. And tomorrow it's going to be a west breeze and then eventually becoming a northwest. We'll get into the weather forecast and all those things, but hey, let's take care of a little business right now.
Let's do it. We say good morning to Steve Anderson from Baird & Company. Steve, what's going on in New York?
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving, I guess. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It is ahead by 173 points, putting it at 35,260. Volume there is 227 million shares. So as you can tell, it's a little bit light on the pre-holiday volume. And the NASDAQ is up by 81, putting it at 14,281. Volume is 280 million shares.
And the tip of the day, what do you think, Steve?
Well, the tip of the day from us today, I just wanted to take some time and wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. And I hope that everyone can be with family. Those who must not be with their family, we're sorry and we thank you because you're probably the people like the military, the police, the fire, those kind of folks often don't get to spend holidays with their family, and we want to thank them in particular for all that they do to make us safe and happy.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody over at Baird. We really appreciate everything you do for us.
Well, thank you.
We're looking forward to working things through the end of the year and hopefully generate a little prosperity for people, huh?
That's what we're hoping for. We'll see you again on Friday. The markets are open a short day on Friday, but we'll be here long enough to say, hey.
And say, hey, the markets are up. All right.
I wasn't going to go quite that far. We'll leave that to you. That's your prognostication, Terry.
Hey, there you go. Steve Anderson, have a great day yet today. And again, happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk on Friday.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yep.
Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. As far as our weather is concerned, we've kind of alluded to it. We are going to have a frontal system move through. It'll be later in the day on Thanksgiving night. Although our temperatures overnight aren't going to be all that bad, but we will be below average. We're looking for a high temperature today of 43, a low of 35 with partly cloudy skies. Then tomorrow, 43. That should be our projected high. 25 for a low on Thanksgiving night. The reason, again, that we are going to have a frontal system move through. Pretty dry, nothing in the way of moisture. And during the day on Friday, it's going to stay chilly, looking for a high of 34 and a low of 24. Then we'll start to try to climb a little bit, but not going to have a whole lot of luck moving into Saturday. 38 for a high, 22 for a low. Sunday, a high of 38, a low of 25. A system is going to be moving in, affecting our weather as we go through the day on Sunday. There will be a chance of some snow. There will be a chance of some measurable amount of snow pretty much over the entire lower peninsula. That should taper off as we move into the day on Monday, but those temperatures, middle 30s to start off the work week next week, but very little, if any, precipitation. The long range take us all the way through the 5th of December. Yes, I said December. I don't know where November went, but we're talking now through the 5th, below average on the temperatures for the entire period of time, below normal on the moisture as well. Normal high for this time of the year, 43. Normal low is 30. Incidentally, out at the airport, Jonathan, yesterday we broke a record. The old record of 0.6 of an inch of rain was set back in 1979. They had officially at the airport 81 hundredths of an inch. And if you got less than 0.9 of an inch of rain in your backyard, you were lucky. A lot of locations, when you started to add up all the precipitation, and this is statewide for the most part, at least 0.9 of an inch from practically every location in this time of the year. We did need the moisture, but 0.9 of an inch, that's a whole lot of moisture in one shot. So you are seeing quite a bit of ponding out there in the farm fields. It should sink down because obviously the ground is not frozen, but we're going to have some chilly weather as we go. So a little bit later on in the broadcast, we're going to be talking to Greg Voorhees at the Rummel Insurance Agency, and he's going to be talking about some of these heating apparatuses that folks have, and getting ready for the colder air. Wood stoves. He's going to be talking about that a little bit later on. A lot more coming up. First of all, online, who do we have?
We'll be checking in with the markets with Cody Harris at Star of the West. Then we'll head over to Doug Klein at Oppenheimer. All of that's ahead. But first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Remember now, they are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. So if you didn't have the opportunity to work with the Sarr Agency this past year, maybe you should. You can get a hold of their agents directly on their cell for questions or emergencies, or you can contact them in the office in Reese, 989-868-4722. And on behalf of all the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, they wish you, each and every one of you, a very happy Thanksgiving. Standing right off now, who do we have, Jonathan?
We say good morning to Cody Harris from Star of the West. Cody, how are we doing on this Wednesday?
Well, good morning, guys. We got definitely a mixed bag here in the markets today. Seems like there may be a little bit of profit taking kind of going into the holiday with soybeans, but we got corn and wheat in the positive, which is a nice thing to see here midweek. Diving right in, we got cash wheat that's up 2 at the moment, 5.32 on the white, 4.52 on the red. New crop 2024 wheat that's up 2 as well. $6.03 on the white, $5.28 on the red. Look over at cash corn, that's up 2 at $4.02. New crop corn for next year is up 1 at $4.51. And then looking over at soybeans, cash soybeans are down 7 at $12.71. And new crop 24 beans are down 5 at $12.28.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but again, with soybeans down, I don't mind interrupting at all. Let's talk a little bit about corn. I have been getting a lot of questions. Some producers have had excellent yields. Matter of fact, whatever contracts they've had, more than fill those contracts. So they're sitting on some corn. And of course, the question to me right off the bat is, hey, and I'm sure to you, okay, is corn going to go up? Should I hang on to it? Whatever. What are some of the factors right now factoring in on our corn trading?
Well, definitely right now factoring on corn trading here at the moment. Definitely demand on corn. We haven't had really that much international demand for U.S. corn, in addition to even some domestic demand. So that's kind of why we've been seeing it's been a narrow trading range for the past couple months, it seems like, for corn along the way. So we're kind of keeping an eye on that. In addition to that, we're looking at South America. That's kind of been the big wild card and question mark. They've had a lot of dry weather, especially in that northern part of Brazil, and even getting that second corn crop kind of going along with that crop. I mean, we're seeing some reports come out, some yields and some plantings. Definitely not what we expected earlier, so that's going to be a question mark as far as corn's concerned. And more or less right now, too, especially beans, we got a lot of international issues. Like today, we've seen beans are kind of really reacting for kind of a lack of selling across the board for, I guess, for China sales, and that's really affecting the corn market as well. Usually corn and beans kind of go step in step this time of year. But right now, that's kind of really what that corn market's looking at.
So the South America thing, we really need to pay attention to that.
Oh, yeah. And it seems like I was looking at here this morning, Brazil are kind of going to have some showers here over the next kind of couple weeks and then turn dry again. So everyone's kind of, I think that's why maybe you're seeing definitely soybeans maybe a tick off and beans maybe not as high as they probably should be right now as far as that second corn crop's concerned, because everyone's just really keeping an eye on, is this little rain that they're going to get over the next couple weeks really going to have effect on that crop?
Good information. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody at Star of the West, Cody.
Thank you. You guys as well.
Will do. Thank you very much. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Doug Klein now?
Yes, indeed. We'll head over to Oppenheimer. The market report today brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. The seasons are changing, and so is the new Ram truck inventory at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. 2023 HDs are still coming in, and the 2024 1500s are arriving. So if you're in the market for a new Ram 1500, a Ram heavy-duty pickup, a ProMaster van, or Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business-linked dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, it's time to go to Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Also by Thumb Bank and Trust. They've been making agricultural loans since 1895. Farming today continues to offer challenges that are very demanding, and Thumb Bank and Trust helps you stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. Thumb Bank and Trust, now with 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. We say good morning to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. Doug, how are we doing today?
Well, it's always interesting. That's for sure. Deer's down $19 today, so they came out and said that financing might be a little bit difficult coming up next year, especially with interest rates where they're at. They also said that the Brazil market was deteriorating faster than they thought it would. So that's a thing. Caterpillar's following suit, but only about $3 or $4 down, because they have a little bit more exposure to industrial stuff than John Deere does. But anyway, crude oil's down $3 today. That's a good thing. The Saudis delayed their price setting meeting. What do they call that? Collusion? Whatever. Anyway,
Yep, that's it.
Something like that for 4 days. Probably because there's somewhat of a ceasefire there in Israel and Gaza, and it's not a good time to set your prices higher when things are settling down. You want to set your prices when things are wild and uncontrolled. So they'll wait for 4 days before they set that in motion. So I guess just deal with it. Here's your numbers. The December corn is 471.5, up a penny and a half. March corn 490 3/4, up 1 3/4. January soybeans 1371 1/4, down 6. March soybeans 1388.5, down 4.5. December wheat is 556 3/4, up 1 3/4, and the March wheat is 585, up 2 1/4. Crude oil is 74.84, down $3.08. Heating oil is 278.77, down 6.5 cents. Gasoline is 212.50, down 8.5 cents. Probably should put us in the 277 range. So they got some room to wiggle again. Natural gas is 296.5. That's down 2.5 cents, and that's pretty close to a low for the year. Probably is a low for the year. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3733 at the border. That's up 33 ticks. The dollar buys 149.59 yen. That's up 120 ticks. The euro's at 108.71, down 38 ticks. The dollar's at 104.06. That's up 50 ticks. And by the way, interest rates hit a 2-month low on the 10-year, 4.40. Remember, they were over 5% for quite a while there. Over to precious metals. Gold is at $19.95, down $6.60. Silver's $23.70, down 16 cents. And platinum's at $926.70, down $14.70.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, your family, and everybody at Oppenheimer.
Thank you. You too. And talk to you Friday, huh?
We'll talk to you on Friday. Doug
Okay.
Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. They've been saying Happy Thanksgiving for about 40 years over there for a very good reason, because they have a lot to be thankful for. And I know a lot of farmers in that area are very thankful to have Freeland Bean and Grain for a number of reasons. But first and foremost is they do serve, and they've continued to serve the farming community since 1983. Get with them before the end of the year. You never know. Pricing on fertilizer and, of course, all the Dairyland seeds. They've got the products available. Might be a good idea to lock in some prices. Check with them right now. Serving you is their business at Freeland Bean and Grain. Standing by, Jonathan, who do we have?
We'll be talking with Jerry Samolsky, then Scott DeVries from Nutrien Ag right after this.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Why do I go by Shaw? Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor
I'm gonna make my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R to
do both vegetables and my flowers. It's exciting, putting yourself out there, learning something new.
And with a long list of easy-to-attach implements, ranging from a front loader to a box blade and backhoe, they both can make
the earth take the shape that I want it to take.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1-Series tractor for just $130 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Contact with a Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Auburn Hills, Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Carroll, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
Beta Seed is known for an all-star lineup of experts, breeders, technicians, and scientists around a single goal, your continued success. This is Rob Gerstenberger reminding you that Beta Seed works hard to understand your challenges, goals, and opportunities. We have varieties bred to maximize tonnage and sugar while also managing disease, all developed and refined in your local grower fields. We know that you manage a lot of variables, but your Beta Seed team remains focused on one, grower satisfaction. Let me know how we've done and how we can build the next generation of seed together.
You need tree removal? How about tree trimming? Well, then you need Legendary Tree Care. No job is too big or too small for those folks. They are fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in big projects as well. LegendaryTreeCare.com. That's how you can check them out, or you can like them on Facebook. They're there when you need them. Legendary Tree Care. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They can help you with lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Stop by any of their conveniently located offices and see how they can become your hometown financial solution. Find out more by going to frankenmuthcu.org. Jerry Samolsky on the line with us right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. And Jerry, guess what?
What?
All those maple trees that I was talking about a couple of days ago,
They're all down?
They dropped their leaves.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done. I'm looking out the window and seeing one of the ornamental pear trees still having their leaves on, but I think the leaves are kind of done. So over the weekend, we have nice weather. I think you can get a good cleanup done and call it quits for the year.
How much rain did you get at the nursery over there?
1.1.
Yeah, it was quite a rain.
Yeah. So, hey, Terry, good news or great news or fun news, different news, but our hardiness zone map has been released, the latest and greatest, and they're telling us now that we're firmly in zone 6. So that means we can grow plants like cherry laurel, blue Atlas cedar, maybe mountain laurel, and some other plants that are maybe a little less hardy. I've had a blue Atlas cedar in my yard. It lasted for about 8-9 years before it got zapped, and I did a little research myself on the website over at Munger, the MSU weather station, and out of 13 years, we only got into zone 5, the colder zone, twice or 3 times, and barely by a degree or 2. So as we go forward, that means we can try some new interesting plants that maybe we typically wouldn't buy and sell this year in these past years, but we can now. Whether it's climate change or whatever it is, we are finding milder winters. So I think we're going to start trying some different and unique plants that we normally wouldn't sell. So fun time coming up next year.
And of course, you've got a lot of those plants at the nursery if folks want to look at them.
We do have some blue Atlas cedar and cherry laurel, and they're fun, nice plants. So keep your eyes open and let's look at planting some fun things next year.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody at Bay Landscaping, Jerry.
Thank you, everybody at the station. All you listeners out there, enjoy a festive season.
Will do. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Now, our weather forecast, we'll talk about the wood stoves a little bit later on, but before we get to that, it's Mr. Outdoors himself. He doesn't care how cold or how warm it is. Scott DeVries with Nutrien Ag. Scott, did you go deer hunting this year?
I did go deer hunting, and I did fill a tag, and I'm still looking for the elusive mighty one yet, but there's still plenty of time.
Yeah. So venison steak, or we got sausage?
We're gonna have a little bit of both. I'll take the good cuts and take everything else and put it into a summer sausage and a stick of some sort. So it's venison. We'll find a good way to put it to use.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Speaking of putting something to use, you guys have got a lot of tools that farmers will be able to use for the upcoming year. But what should they be concentrating on right now, Scott?
Well, we're starting to wrap things up. I mean, there's a few agronomy issues out there going on in the cornfields, but as we look, we're planning really hard for 2024. And one of the things that's really forefront is capital management or financing programs, and Nutrien Financial and our programs. We've got a lot of opportunities with supplier programs and in-house programs to help growers out. We know that the cost of capital is pretty high right now, and you're pushing operating lines of 8, 9, 10% and above. And we've got some supplier programs, 1.9, 2.9. We've got some things that we can help growers manage their expenses and exposure, and still create a lot of good opportunities with awesome agronomic results.
So, for more information, we can just stop by any Nutrien location, right?
Yes, sir. We've got training meetings coming up, and they're all going to be on the top of their game, so they're waiting for you.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and everybody at Nutrien, Scott.
Same to all the WSCW listeners. Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Scott DeVries with Nutrien Ag. Coming up right after this quick break, Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency.
How was youth football practice, Coach?
Good. They handed out jerseys. We're green.
Was he excited?
Yeah. Says it's the second year in a row he'll match our sugar beet fields.
What? He played for the Browns last fall.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Oh, sorry. So he's becoming a teenager.
Apparently, but it's a good thing we tackled our Cercospora with the CR Plus trait. Green fields are the only reason I've got time to coach.
Green fields are from CR Plus?
Yep. We now have the power of plus. The KWS CR Plus trait is licensed to Beta Seed and Crystal Brand Seed and available in select varieties.
Okay, temperature-wise, as we move into Friday, Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency, I'm looking at a high of 34, a low of 24. And, some folks have been firing up the wood stove already, and it really feels good.
Yeah, it always does that heat for some reason, Terry. You're right. We got a question from a customer the other day about a wood stove in their garage. And that in this particular instance, it was a garage attached to the house. It's always a good idea to check with your insurance carrier if you're considering putting heat in the garage. It's a pretty safe bet that the insurance company is going to say no to the wood stove in the garage, but they do allow other types of heating sources, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but that's what insurance companies do sometimes. So, and if you're looking at heating a shed or a pole barn or something like that, also check with your insurance company to see if they have any what's the word I'm looking for, restrictions or qualifications on what type of heat you put in.
Yeah, better get ready. I mean, they're terrific, but you want to make sure that you're covered.
Right. You want the coverage there. And if you're doing it yourself, the installation, make sure you're following all the manufacturer requirements and doing things according to their specs.
Very good. Craig Voorhees, thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody at the Rummel Agency.
We appreciate that, Terry, and we'll send it right back to you and everybody there and everybody listening.
Thank you. We'll be right back. Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444. Farm Service has been brought to you by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. Don't forget those Farmall tractors. It can handle just about any job that you have. And Weiss has got all the different models, anywhere from the Farmall A to the Farmall C and C series with cabs. 35 to 140 horsepower, that's the range. Don't forget, that tractor does it all, so no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red. It's called Farmall. Available now at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the premier kitchen and bath